Hi everyone, you haven't heard from me in a while. This video is about shifting patterns, speaking up with confidence in a non-challenging way. If you know me, you know I love pickleball. And so there are some of us who have been playing on this court for about a month. And then all of a sudden, some of the other pickleball players that I played with throughout the year showed up, put their own nets up on a court that needs 2 nets, and we were out. We had to play in the sun. We couldn't play in the shade where they were. And they claimed those courts like they were their own. Now this is a city court. That's not generally allowed. And any facility that you play in, that's generally not allowed. You generally rotate players, you rotate courts, that's sportsmanship. So anyway, they show up and I'm sort of looking at this, and they won't play with anybody and they won't switch courts. So I know one of the guys who organized this, and he is a very strong, assertive personality. And so that assertiveness can be a gift, but he also has challenges with other people. So I waited a while, and we were really hot playing, and I went over and I said to him, you know, can we switch courts? And he said, no, we can't. And I said, well, who made those rules? And he said, I did. I brought the nets. See, anytime someone's doing something, they justify their behavior. So I said, okay. Went back to playing. Next day I came, and because I'd spoken up, he was very polite to me, come over and play. He was giving me tips on how to play till his people came to fill the courts again. And so this has been going on. So now suddenly these are city courts, but they've claimed them. And I believe in standing up and speaking up and changing patterns. That's not sportsmanship. That's not generally what pickleball people do, unless you let them. Just like in any relationship or situation, unless you let them. So today we came, it was the same situation. We played in the sun for a while. Well, first of all, when I came in the morning, there wasn't anybody for me to play with, so I stood on the side, and when their game was over, I walked onto the court to play. And they turned their backs and they were talking amongst themselves. They weren't happy that I was there. And I was very conscious they weren't happy that I was there. But I'm here to teach, and that's not okay with me. That's not sportsmanship. That's not even being polite. So I played a game, and then my friends came, and off we went. We were out in the sun again. And I played a couple of games, and I was hot. And so I thought, I am shifting this pattern. And everybody around me is, don't say anything, don't say anything. You know, don't make waves. And I said, no, it's not okay. It's not okay. And so I walked over with a smile on my face when they ended their game. And I said, would you mind switching courts with us so we can play in the shade for a couple of games too? And the men looked up. It was like, oh my gosh, what do we do now? And so this fellow who'd organized it and generally asserts his energy to get his way said, what did you say? Thinking I would back down. And I said, would you mind changing courts? We're hot. We'd like to play in the shade a bit later. You know, we're all pickleball players here. We played with each other. So he stopped and he said, okay. And he took the guys over and we played on our court for a while. And so we played a few games, and then I had taught the lesson. And so I said to them, you know, let's go back to our court. And we went to walk off, and he says, no, that's okay. That's okay. You guys stay and play another game. My point is, there's a number of points here. We do need to speak up, but we need to know how to do it. And I am confident. And when I say something with confidence, a lot of times other people don't challenge me. And I don't take advantage of that. I smile. I generally ask. I give options. You know, let's all get along. Let's all do this another way. It was fascinating that as we played, he looked over at me and was giving me tips. Hey, you know, you might want to do this, you might want to do that. People's energy and actions change. My point is, learn to speak up, learn to do it without aggression, smile, but stand on what you're saying if you can. If it would have come to a confrontation, I probably would have called the City of Calgary rules, 30 minutes on the court, and then you're off, and they wouldn't like that. So know what your options are. I was also disappointed in one of the ladies because she runs a pickleball facility here, a city facility, where that wouldn't be allowed. It wouldn't even be considered. So it's interesting how people can get into these patterns. As I left, everybody was saying goodbye to me and have a great day and stand up, speak up with confidence. And if you don't know how to do that, I know how to help you. So bye for now. Thanks for listening. Sorry guys, I don't want to shut this off. It's not going back. Okay, there we go. All right, and